Hi, folks. This is Anahata Graceland here with Royal Frenchel Puppies. Been a breeder over 50 years, and Arturo Chileri, my right paw. And, this is our second show. We'll be doing a show every day at noon, and except Sunday. And I wanted to share with you that I want the show to not only be about the puppies that we're selling, because we do, like this little gal here, Savannah. Savannah's a Royal Frenchel, and we'll be talking about her, and I'll show you a bunch of puppies throughout the show. But I also wanted to make available to people, different ways of thinking about being with your dog and how to be successful creating the relationship that you want with your dog. And so today we're going to cover what I use here at Royal Frenchel, which is a very specific method I created many, many years ago, which has enriched my life outrageously, and the people who work here and my customers over the years. They'll tell you themselves that it changed their lives. I can't tell you how many notes, letters, everything that I receive that tells me the same thing. Just how amazing it is to understand this very simple process called the 5-minute hands-on play. Okay, so let me just have Arturo introduce himself for a second and say hello and introduce Savannah.
Hi, everyone. I am the right paw, like Anahata says, which means we work together to create these beautiful dogs that you guys can learn about online. One of the greatest places to hear about them is from our customers. I have the joy of sharing with them, and they have great stories online about them. So I just recommend you go there. It's nice to be here, and this is Savannah.
Okay, so we have available pups, and we'll be showing them throughout. Savannah is one of them. She's 3 months old, 3.5 months old, and she's amazing. She's just a big love. Savannah loves the outdoors, but more than anything, Savannah is the kind of gal that would prefer to be with her person and hang out and go to the store and do all the things that people want to do. She'd be a great traveler if someone flies, things like that. She's just really, really good with people and all dogs and the like. So that's good to know about little Savannah. We'll be showing her brother as well, little Benjamin Smiles. Arturo, maybe you can get him at the same time. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the 5-minute hands-on play. The 5-minute hands-on play is a really important tool that I use here, and people who come here to work, which they've been here for so long now that I haven't done it for quite a while. But in the day when I was hiring people and Royal Frenchel was growing, I remember, telling them how important it was to ignite the relationship with every individual dog. That it's very easy when you're breeding to treat a litter like a litter and not every individual. It's very easy to treat a pack like a pack instead of really seeing every individual, enjoying them as an individual, identifying them that way, and knowing their quirks, their differences, the type of personalities they are, and what they enjoy, what they don't enjoy. This is really important, in my view, in raising a dog that has a really healthy brain chemistry. The dogs that we raise are renowned for, this amazing nature. I think we need to just do that a little bit. There we go. For their amazing nature. And what I mean by that is they're very, very easygoing. They have a chill nature, but they play. They love affection, etc., etc. Super easy to train. Oftentimes they're housebroken in 4 days. That's the most common of a Royal Frenchel. But of course, a lot of that has to do with the people. You got to be consistent. And then after the 4 days, you got to be consistent to make sure it locks in. But yeah, average is 4 days. And so people want, come here to learn, and they say, how do you do that? Like, this breed is amazing. And I tell them, look at 5-minute hands-on play. And they say, what? And I say, let me show you. And The 5-minute hands-on play, if you think about it, you bring a dog home and, you pick the dog, you bring it home in your car, you put it in the dog bed that you figured that you was pretty and you fit your household. You give it the food you choose. You pick out the toys that it uses. Now, so far, the human has done everything. I want you to really consider that for a minute. The human has done everything in that scenario. Then you set the schedule. When do they get put in a crate, or when they don't, or when they go in the car, or when they don't, or who they meet or who they don't. Everything is the human schedule, the human world. And what the 5-minute hands-on play does is shift that completely. You leave the human world as the foundation of the context in which you're meeting. You turn off your phone, you turn off everything. You're going to only do it for 5 minutes. Believe me, you can afford 5 minutes, okay? It'll work, I promise you. And you just take the 5 minutes and you get down on the floor if you can, if you're able. I'm in my 70s, I go on the floor still, but you can do it on your couch. You can lay down on a bed. The idea is you get the dog at eye level. And you just simply look into the dog's eyes and wonder. Now, I know that sounds funny, but yeah, you just leave the human world. Everything's turned off. You tell everybody don't bother you for 5 solid minutes, and you just simply look at your dog and connect. Maybe you're stroking it a little. Maybe you're just laughing and it's trying to lick you. And then just settle down. We want to get it calm and interest in the dog. Okay. So the whole focus is going to be interest in the dog. And so you might ask a question in your mind to your dog, and maybe out loud. Where do you go in the yard that you like the most? Like, is there a place in the yard that you like, or is there somewhere in the house that you like? And then you just sit there, lay there, whatever posture you're in, just hang out there and look at your dog and be. You're not going to necessarily hear an answer, right? But what this does is it opens a part of your mind and your brain and your dog's brain and mind. And you start to rest in that. Just rest in it. You don't have to do anything. Then you might ask, what toy is your favorite? And you might put 3 toys out there in front of you and see which one he picks up. Or, I have friends that come over. What friend do you like the most? Start inquiring, this mind of inquiry. Go into the dog's world and consider it. That's all. You're just considering it. What happens is, over a relatively short period of time, and this is for real, okay? You can try it. Do the science experiment yourself. What happens is, over time, you start to realize that you have an intuitive connection with your dog that wasn't there before, that you're more aware and of your dog, of needs. You get them out on time better. You know when they're hungry, you know when they're not because of the clock and not because of the time, but there's just something in you that can feel it. And what happens is that intuitive connection is also felt by your dog. So you end up with this current going between you, you see. And that current is actually a real thing that starts to blossom your minds together. It blossoms your brain, your body chemistry. Now, I'm not going to give you a bunch of science to confirm this. I'm going to tell you that I've done this for over 50 years. There's a reason why when I go to the store, I can scope and scan my property and I can tell who's barking, that somebody's barking on the lawn, maybe not who specifically. Sometimes I can, but I definitely can tell if somebody's out barking. I can call home and say, get that dog off the yard. Now, how do I do that? I can tell you I do it because I did 5-minute hands-on play, probably for over 40 of the 50 years, probably more than that, like 48 of the 50 years or more than 50 that I've been working with my animals, because it happened very young that I realized this. And so I developed this intuitive connection with my dogs. And eventually what happens is you start to have knowledge of things, like all of a sudden you'll know, oh, gee, they really like this, or, oh, gee, this part of the yard is fun to walk in, or let's go to town and go here, or let's go to this dog park. And what happens is your dog is so grateful and so enjoying that connection that they listen better. They're 50 million times easier to train. There's like hardly any work to training at all when you do this process for a while. They just listen. Now look at, this is a 3.5-month-old baby here. Okay. Little Savannah. Look how calm. Benjamin, excuse me. He had Savannah before. So this is Benjamin Smiles. He's a Royal Frenchel. And look how relaxed he is. Now, this is a kennel puppy. This is a puppy that I raise in order to be sold. But look at him. We have a team here called the Love Bucket team, and they go in and every day they work with the pups. Every single day, every puppy gets an individual time. There's a ritual for naming the pups, for describing them. And then there's this experience of the Love Bucket training. And the Love Bucket training is a very specific training also. I'm not going to go over that today. But they get 45 minutes to an hour, 6 days a week. That's very specific. And that is really good time. And they're relaxed. They're easy to handle. They're ready for connection. They're ready for their human counterpart. And that is all because of the 5-minute hands-on play. The 5-minute hands-on play is part of our Love Bucket routine. So there are some other things we do as well. But I want you to understand, your brain is phenomenal, okay? Capable of much more than you could ever realize. Try this exercise. Watch what happens. You may not hear or know anything at all. Okay. You might go, I don't know what the heck this is. I mean, I don't hear anything. I don't know what my dog, I feel foolish laying there saying, what toy do you like? Or what part of the yard do you like? Or whatever. I'm telling you, if you do it sincerely, you will see the changes in your dog and your relationship, and you will feel them. It's not going to be subtle. You will see really clear changes. It will be easier as heck to do anything with your dog. I mean, literally, if you've had training issues, do the 5-minute hands-on play and then go to your trainer and work with your trainer with your dog. Your dog is going to be hooked up with you 50 million times more than not. Remember, we have taken a species, an alien. Okay, this is a species, another creature with a very different genetic background and a very different culture because of that difference in species. They have a culture of their own, and they want to develop that culture with you. Okay, they want to develop it with you. They believe their job is to do that. So you want to find out who they are, not how they can fit in your pocket, but how can you fit in their pocket? What's important to them? This is really important stuff, folks. If you're going to have a long, really beloved family member with 4 legs, it's how it works. And then you can actually do the same exercise with anything living. It works with plants. People look at my plants. They live longer. The flowers I get live longer than most people's flowers, all because I do it. I do it everywhere now. Have for years. Sound goofy, sound corny. It may be all those things. I don't care. It works. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about dog, but let me just check and see if anybody has written anything. If you're here and you want to know something or you want to have us address something, I'd love to do that. Also, if you want to see pups and any specific pup, I'm happy to do that as well. So let's see, where do I look for that,
Right here,
Arturo? This is new for me.
There's no comments.
Okay, so there's no comments right now. All
Mhm.
right, good.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love it if you want to share anything, please feel free to. I thought what we'd do is show some pups. So this is Benjamin. Benjamin is a small size of Royal Frenchel. He's just an absolute love. Let's get the litter in from of little Sasha. I mean, why don't you get the other litter? Thank
The
you.
one downstairs.
Yeah. Just bring the whole little litter.
Well, I'll say, I mean, working with the dogs with Anahata and learning this method, I didn't really grow up with dogs. I had a dog a little bit, and then I had actually, I did grow up with dogs. I don't know, maybe when I was younger I didn't have them, but when I was like in like from 14 on, I had 2 little dogs, and I had no idea how intelligent they were. I mean, I was more from a different culture, and we didn't treat them as such intelligent people, but I loved them. Like, I totally loved them. But then when I met Anahata and started working here, she treated them like they were so intelligent, and it really has been a process of learning how smart they really are. And you know, like when she first did that, you know, hey, there's dogs barking in the yard, she told me to call, you know, Turo, call the kennel, there's dogs barking on the yard. I'm like, what? How do you know?
We're out at a store. We're out at a store, right?
So I call the kennel. I'm like, okay, I'll call the kennel, and sure enough, dogs barking in the yard. And then, you know, that's how she started teaching me about it. And it really is. I mean, on top of it being so respectful.
Now, I want you to understand something. You're going to hear at some point that I have a severe brain difference because I had a brain disease when I was a child and I died, and that did happen. And I came back. No big deal. Listen, everybody has experiences in life. The process I'm telling you, I have lived for, like I said, at least 40, 50 years. Okay. I've done this every day. So I've developed over time heavily, right? Much more than your average person. Okay. But you can get a good degree of that if you do it every day with your dog. And I mean, 5 minutes, they deserve 5 minutes, right?
I mean, I think it's not much different than a mother and her child, and the mother's sense of the child, and they could feel when things are happening. It's just it's a similar kind of thing. At least for me, you know, it's almost like prayer in a certain way, because I go to a space that's more connected to other things. You know, it's like I'm connected to a greater power, greater life. And when I'm in that space, and talking to my dog, I mean, that really helps me connect to her. And now I feel her. I can feel when she wants something or is looking for me, if I'm away and I don't take her, and it's just precious. It really is precious. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. So we're going to show you a litter of pups that's very young. They're 4 weeks old, and that's going to be fun. But in the meantime, if anybody's visiting today that would like to share anything, or have me share something, please feel free to write in the comments. In the meantime, I'm going to just talk a little bit more about this whole idea of, you know, you're dealing with a different species. Okay. Canines are a different species. And within the canines, humans have, of course, created all these different lines, different dog breeds. And the dog breeds have different attributes. Their brains are actually different. However, the things that I'm going to share with you over time will work with any breed. The 5-minute hands-on play will work with any breed. It works with any living thing. So that's really important to understand. I have been a dog person and animal person my whole life. You know, I had monkeys, raccoons. I lived in upstate New York as a child, and Massachusetts on the ocean. I've you know, had rats for years that were my good friends. Mr. G was one rat's name, and he was just the most remarkable thing you ever saw in your life.
Mr. G.
I want to build a community of really people who love, who really love animals and want to have some joy in their life and spread that joy. That's just really, really important. Okay, so here's a pup. We'll start with Jojo.
Now, Jojo.
Yeah, we showed her yesterday. We can start with Jojo. Hi, Jojo. This is Wrigley Joe. I call her Jojo. And she is the most gorgeous little thing. Hi, sweetheart. She's a micro. Oh, you're a good girl. Nice to see you. Yeah. So good to see you. I'll just put her up so you can see her close and you can look in her eyes. She's just such the most precious little thing. She wonders what we're doing here. And Wrigley Joe's 4 weeks old. She's a micro or a small. It's at 4 weeks. She's right in that range that will probably be that. It's a funny thing about Royal Frenchels. Royal Frenchels' back foot tells the whole story. The size of the back foot tells the story of basically what they'll be as an adult. Yeah, so you're a good girl. This is Wrigley Joe. Okay, I call her Jojo. And then I'm going to show you.
Who is that?
Hold on.
Dasha Riggs. Right
this
there.
is Dasha Riggs.
Little girl.
And Dasha is just the most gorgeous little thing. Yes, she is. She's just beautiful. Look at that eye. Isn't she remarkable? Smart as heck this little girl is. She's going to enjoy the adventure of life with her person. Oh, I tell you, she will. She's going to be smart, ready to go at any time. Absolutely easy to train, hands down. She's just awesome. She really and truly is. Yes, you are, Wrigley. Yes, sir. Little Jojo. And she's beautiful. You can see her little body. Whoops, I'm sorry. Am I making it? Yo, just good girl. Yes, she is. Okay. Yeah. That was odd, wasn't it, to show you like that? Was that odd? Yes, it was. Yes, sir. She's a good girl. Oh, you like that, huh? You like that. Yeah, so I'm going to show you her brother. Her sister.
Yeah, sister Ducky.
This is Ducky. This is little Ducky. Ducky Valentine. And Ducky is just gorgeous. Look at her. She's a beautiful little girl. Yes, she is, my girl. Yes, she is. Now her ears have started flying. Royal Frenchels have ears that go up, down, one ear up or one ear down. And they come in 2 coats. One is a silky coat and one is a regular coat. Regular coats for Frenchies have a good amount of texture. They're a tiny bit rough in a sense, but it's really just textured hair. These guys are silkies, meaning that like a fluffy French. Only the silkies in a Royal Frenchel Frenchie are very, very soft. And when I say very soft, I really mean it. They're like luxuriously soft. And that little Ducky is definitely that. Isn't she just beautiful? Yeah, she really is. Now, those ears are flying. So you can see, you see through that ear there? That means she's flying. She's got flying ears, which means they're more than likely going to go up. So Ducky will probably have up ears. Won't you, Miss Duck? What you think, Miss Ducky? Little Valentine.
We put her up close to see her eyes.
I'm going to just show you her little eyes.
Yeah.
I think showing the dog is so important to meet their soul. So take a little look into that eye for a moment. They're so beautiful, so precious. Yeah, did you just relax, my little one? Yes, you did. Okay. I'm going to show Mr. Biggs.
Mr. Big.
Mr. Biggs. And what? Look at you, Mr. Biggs. Hi, Biggs. How are you, my buddy? How's my boy?
He's a big
How's
boy.
my boy, huh? Oh, give you a big love for. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Biggs loves to stick his nose in your neck. It's so adorable. I'm just going to show you Mr. Biggs because he has the black around his eyes. It's hard to see his eyes, but his eyes are so beautiful. Take a look. I'm going to turn him sideways a little bit. You can see, oh my God, he's so precious.
So adorable.
And this boy is like, oh my God, he's like marshmallow heaven. He really is. He's just a big bag of love. You are. Yes,
He's a
you
bag
are.
of love, Mr. Biggs.
He's
bags.
a big bag of snuggles. You give him to someone, or you take him home, and this boy is just going to be like a cuddle blanket all the time. He's just like his grandma. Arturo has his grandmother, who's an old breeding gal of ours, and
she's the love of my life. I can't say any more than that.
Right.
I love her so much, and this dog has so much of her qualities. If you want this dog, I would move fast because I'm looking at her.
Oh,
no, she won't.
Love. No, Arturo, you can't have one of these
I
yet.
know,
Okay.
I know.
Now I'm going to show you this little gal.
No, she's not available.
Name.
She's Eleanor.
This is Eleanor Rose. I'm just going to show her to you. This is one of the Royal Frenchels. Now, actually, Eleanor is a dog that I'm keeping. But this is my new little girl. She's part of that litter. I just wanted to show her to you. And then you can see her little eyes.
Mr. Boston.
Isn't that lovely? Such a good girl.
She's gorgeous.
And then we've Boston Stubbs' place. Let's see here.
He did everybody.
That's it.
Yeah.
Those are the pups today. We showed you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dogs. And let me know if there's anybody that wants to know anything about those pups. You feel free to reach us. You can look down below. And also, we have a new store called Tail Wagging Love on Amazon. You can go there and check it out. And I have 2 books coming out. Very excited. I'm changing the name of one, so I can't really give it to you at this point, but I'm really hoping it enriches your lives because dog people, man, they're the greatest people, really, right? I mean, every dog person knows that. So, yeah. So anyway, let's see. Where do we go now? We have about 3 more minutes. I'm wondering if you have any questions or anything we might do.
You can feel free also, because there's many of you who are probably going to see this after the live. Feel free to write in the comments if you want us to do a topic. Anahata's been breeding for over 50 years. You know, I consider her I call her a national monument because the truth is, where do you find a national treasure?
Not a monument. Please,
treasure.
I haven't left yet, kid.
A treasure. Oh my God. But I mean, really, where do you find people with this kind of experience anymore? They're the classic, and we have a classic here, and she knows. I mean, she's the greatest resource for dogs that I know. So
I'm definitely not a vet. Okay. I'm not a vet. I'm not a professional dog trainer, but I have a lot of experience and background in everything dog. Yeah. And I definitely am a good person as a resource. So, what Turo's saying is right. Just feel free.
Yeah. Reach out and we can create a topic that we'll go live on, that's catered to some of your interests also. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't worry about my vaping. The vaping is actually part of a treatment for my brain. I have to have a tiny bit of nicotine every day. For years and years, I smoked, 2.5 packs a day. I stopped smoking, was clear for 20 years, and then learned that this can really help my brain. And it's been fantastic for me. It doesn't have any effect on me or the dogs in any ill way. So I want you to feel confident about that. And
that's it.
Listen, you have a wonderful day. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow at noon. All right.
See you tomorrow at noon.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.